Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So we got man. Check.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
36 power.
To throw is Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A game of 9 yards.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and 11. Throwing is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he's got Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. At 21 yards there as they convert on third.
For another Seahawks. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go. All go special. Go. Check back 27.
They run it with Carson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Watch Watch 18.
From the 41, Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How are they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Get that ball. Run left. Hey, check Mike 27. Check. Run left. They can't hang with us. Check. Guys, listen.
Third and long, it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, order. Mike, 55. Check 55, Mike. Oh, yeah.
Breeze now. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the Seahawks 46-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Breeze. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10.
Got it. Go.
On 1st down, Wilson. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Carson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watch 18
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson being chased out left. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
Good job right there. Good job right there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the 1st. They get him to the ground at the 37. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. And Myers able to knock it through. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. The run there on 1st down gets them a yard to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw, it's Breeze. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Saints.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Come on, one thing for sure. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Brees. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down. You draw corporate. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check, kill.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal.
Ready. 5'8", 57. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. Now, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Steps away to his left. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carson. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Wilson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
12.
Now Wilson. Going to throw again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Breeze going to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw to Gabriel, middle of the field. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Sammy!
Looking to throw again on second down. Breeze. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's Carson, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
36. I smell fear in that offense.
To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. We still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage that they need.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Here we go.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Brees. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
All right, zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return.
They had an opportunity. All right, they were sensitive. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Go 14.
From the 16, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Track 50, track 50. 36 to Mike.
Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got Lockett. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
On 1st down, Carson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 35. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
They run again with Carson. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints' 26.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Carson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
I'm coming after you.
This is Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
You. Hey, alert 3.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All day, dog. 19. Let's go.
Now Wilson. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Here we go.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Back to throw, Breeze. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Hey, easy. Let's bring it.
Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Right there.
To throw is Breeze. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. So the